Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds Talkin. As usual, I'm your host, Nerdy. Joining me this week is Catnick,
Blah 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 blah.
Lightning Ferron,
Let's hope this works! Oh shit, I gotta do something.
and possibly Dusk and Ember.
We're here, I guess.
So Ember can hear me.
I can somewhat hear you. It's very bad though.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just got back from an episode that made me really freaking happy. Trying to figure out why the stream says that Lightning is streaming Twitchy After Dark, which hasn't aired since December.
Oh, what's the new thing? Is it Ned's talking?
NeTA, I think.
Alright, there you go.
Anyway, there we go. She fixed it. We just got off of an episode that really excites me because it's the return of probably the greatest pony of all time. That's right, I'm talking
Starlight
about
Glimmer.
I'm talking about the return of Twilight Sparkle.
Why is that?
Catnick ruined the fucking joke. Thanks, Catnick!
You're welcome.
Jackass! Of course, you all know what Oni I'm talking about. If you don't, then you don't know me very well, or you haven't seen what my OC's cutie mark is in the About page. I am, of course, talking about Trixie, 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 and Trixie! Woo! Trixie is back, ladies and gentlemen, in this new episode, and holy fucking shit, was it an amazing episode. I won't lie, I actually had to leave the episode, or I actually had to leave the chat shortly after the episode aired because it got me really teary-eyed and emotional. I cried like a little girl, and not because Trixie is back. But I'll get into why later. So, our first topic this evening is Trixie's Return. Trixie returned to the series after 3 seasons. She was last seen in Magic Duel. Technically, she was last seen in Equestria Girls 2, if you count those. Or, no, wait, she had a small cameo in Equestria Girls 3, didn't she? I'm gonna actually need people to talk and, work with me here.
I don't know. I don't watch that movie.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
You guys don't watch the Equestria Girls movies?
Oh,
I watched the third one. I can't remember anything about
now off the
it.
top of my head.
Except it sucked.
Okay, well, she did have a small cameo in Equestria Girls 3, but she officially returned to the series in this episode. And fun fact, actually, about this. The very beginning, when she very first appears in the spa, Kathleen Barr was actually asked not to do her normal Trixie voice. She was actually asked... She was asked to mask it so that they could help hide who the pony was, even though the clip they released a week earlier pretty much spoiled it.
I see.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest with you. I kind of wish they hadn't released that clip. I wish they would have released one, like maybe of when Starlight Glimmer is trying to make friends.
It made Sophisto happy.
I have no idea who... Oh, Thesisto. Sound like you said Mephisto. So anyway, Trixie returned, and Jesus Christ, did it make me so happy to see her again. Dusk can't actually probably hear me very well right now.
It's getting better.
But prior to this episode, Dusk had said something like Trixie was dead and wasn't coming back. So I like giving her shit saying that she lied to me.
Hey. Your ass.
So, but...
We all knew this, Dusk.
I was just really happy to see Trixie again. Like, I can't... It's hard to explain. Like, I honestly did kind of start believing, not that she was dead, but that there was a chance that she would never return to the actual series. And yeah, it just made me super, super fucking happy that she was back. Yay. I'm going to throw the microphone at Catnick and make him talk about how he felt about Trixie's return.
Surprised and bewildered. Basically the two words I can use to describe it.
Okay, what about you, Lightning?
I thought the episode. Sorry, I got.
You
confused.
thought the episode.
Shut up. I was not surprised at Trixie's return. I'm more surprised that she came back this early. I thought she'd be like a later episode.
You cut out there at the end.
I thought this would be a later episode, not like something that's. What is this, like the 5th episode?
Yep.
Like, I thought it'd probably be like 10th, 11th.
So closer to the end of the season?
Yeah, closer to the end of the season. Especially seeing as the topic that it was talking about.
Ah.
I felt
Well-
like this was like a later season topic.
Can Ember and Dusk give their opinions, or should we move on?
I appreciate the Trixie coming back. She's a slightly annoying character, but I appreciated seeing the side of her that we got to see during the episode. So.
And Miss Melodoka?
If I can add to my statement, she's a lot, and add to Dusk's. She was a lot less annoying than she usually was.
Okay, I'm guessing we lost Ember altogether. So.
Well, that
sad
sucks.
Day. Sad day. Yeah, no, and I agree. Like, we got to see a side of Trixie we hadn't gotten to see before, because usually she's super fucking boastful, which she was in this episode, but to a slightly lesser extent than she usually is. It's kind of obvious that she's starting to realize how bad she was in the past, I guess you could say. And she's trying to atone for it, but only in the way that Trixie can. And at the same time, she was also still trying to get revenge on Twilight, which I freaking loved that she was technically still an antagonist. To all of you that said Trixie was redeemed prior to this episode, you owe me a Coke.
I don't owe you anything.
Kind of still was.
No, she wasn't redeemed by any sense. She still had it out for Twilight. She still refused to see Twilight as a friend.
It was more like she was starting to change. Like, you started to see that she could change. It was more than just the one-sided character dynamic that she was given.
She wasn't redeemed is the point. She wasn't a good guy yet. She was getting there, but she wasn't there yet. Although, honestly, at the end of this episode, yeah, you can't deny she's a good guy now. She's redeemed. I admit it. After this episode, I admit it. I guess we can move on to her friendship with Starlight.
I think that's the
When
best.
I get a chance, I also want to talk about just Starlight for a second.
Okay. So this next topic is all about Starlight and Trixie.
Alright. Well, first off,
Okay, you can give it to me now, whatever. So, anyone else noticed how weird she acts? Like, particularly like awkward, cringeworthy weird.
Well, she's new to the whole... I tried explaining this to Ditzy earlier, because Ditzy said that she didn't much care for Starlight in this episode. Up until she started actually befriending Trixie, then she liked her. But the way I see it is, Starlight is new to friendship. This whole frickin' concept is, like, really foreign to her. Even after the incident with Starburst, her sunburst. Yeah. She's still very iffy on friendship. Like, she doesn't fully grasp it.
I'm super duper unhappy with this episode for certain reasons based on that, though.
In
Not because of Starlight, though.
I honestly think it's a little bit even more to that. And it comes from, like, every little thing she's saying, how she keeps bringing up what she's done in the past, and almost saying, like, consistently thanking them for not taking it to heart. And I think it's because she kind of has the same problem, a very similar problem that Luna had, where she just cannot forgive herself. She cannot let go of what she did. Yeah, and it makes everything incredibly awkward. Because
Cat, let me ask you something. if you were a complete monster in the past, could you forgive yourself for it? Like, if you go went
Luna
around
did.
enslaving towns, could you, though? Luna's
It
a
would take
princess.
some time.
Starlight Glimmer's not a princess. They're not, like,
Yeah.
there's a completely different realm going on with
No,
Starlight
I agree
Glimmer.
with Trixie. Yet.
I'm just saying that I found I didn't like how
Starlight Glimmer for next princess.
I didn't actually like how Starlight acted until I had that realization of why she was acting that way.
You're gonna have to get used to it, Kat. It's gonna be a common theme. But
I
here's the
know,
other
and
thing
I've
you gotta
gotten used to it
the,
and I
the
like
thing
it.
The thing that bugs me is Twilight's behavior. Because
Yeah.
there were
I
some
will-
severe things wrong with this.
Yeah, like looking at Twilight, it just seemed kind of out of character.
Princess of Friendship refuses to accept that Trixie's back.
Yeah, and if technically,
and befriending her star pupil.
yeah, and also brings up the point where I guess she wasn't really redeemed in the last episode she was in, because Twilight was treating her like she wasn't redeemed at all.
That's my point.
Yeah,
and but Twilight was also being super apprehensive about everything. Super, what's the word I'm looking for?
She basically told Starlight, "Hey, go out and make a friend." Starlight went out and made a friend. Twilight was like, any friend but her."
That's the reason this episode kind of matters to me is because I used to do the same thing. I used to do a lot of this, and you can ask Kat a couple of years ago. I used to do the same thing, and man.
It kind of hits you on a home run kind of thing,
Yeah.
or home base.
That's the same problem I had with the not the Dragon episode we had this season, but long ago.
Oh god, which dragon? The one where he has to,
Where
he tries to
he goes on the dragon migration.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I couldn't say migration for some reason.
That episode had the same effect for me.
Oh, you got
Because
robot on
you
me.
used to be a dragon and had to go on a quest.
No, because I knew jackasses like the dragons acted, and at one point I was friends with them.
Ah. That makes slightly more sense than my theory. Again, okay. Here's the weird thing is I like the adorkableness behind Twilight in this, because I see where she's coming from in a way. Now, I do agree with you, Dusk, that she was very out of character in this. Like, she's supposed to be the princess of friendship. She's supposed to be teaching Starlight, friends good, go out, make a friend. And Starlight does that, and then Twilight's like, oh, no, when I said friends, I meant like, somebody I trust. It's like, that's not how this works, Twilight. But I did like the adorkableness of her trying to make friends for Starlight. Like,
Gotta love that DJ Pon 3 drop.
Yeah, like
Which,
the DJ
by the way, was
Pawn
that
3.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that name canon yet?
By the way, that is in fact the first time in the series, outside of commercials, that DJ Pawn 3's name has been said.
Yeah, I was about
It
to ask that.
was.
Like, is this now officially canon?
Yep.
Her name
Okay.
is now officially DJ Pawn 3.
Okay, cause I didn't know if they always said something about it beforehand. That's what my question was.
They said a long time ago. They said her name is DJ Pawn 3, and that legally they're not allowed to call her Vinyl Scratch.
Why?
I think it was something to do with that's the name of a band somewhere.
Yeah, but everything's the name of a band eventually.
But her name is officially DJ Pawn 3. I frickin' love the Derpy in this.
The one scene.
She
Oh,
was in
technically
at least
2.
3. She was in at least 3.
I like the donkey in this episode, specifically for the end, but we'll get to that later.
Cranky.
Cranky Doodle, that's his name. I like Cranky Doodle,
But-
especially for the end.
I loved how when the face Derpy makes after she smacks into the sign. I like the little, if you notice in the background, she's waving to the fans. When they're all sitting around the table, she turns and waves to us. That was
Stop
kind of
breaking the wall.
That was kind of a cute little nod. And as far as Starlight goes, I loved Starlight in this. Like, it felt like me trying to make new friends, Like, when I make friends, I tend to kind of want them to be to my tight little world of standards, so to speak. And
Honestly, speaking of that, it just seems like Trixie was just a perfect match for her, like in every single way.
no, and she was. Both were former dictators, so it's a perfect match. Granted, one of them was a dictator because she's fucking psycho, and the other is Trixie.
It's like if Saddam Hussein and Stalin met and became friends.
Didn't that actually happen? Probably not. Anyway, I like the adorableness of Starlight going around and trying to make friends. Like how she makes the cake, and Mrs. Cake freaks out. Like, are you crazy? You trying to put me out of business? The whole scene with Big Mac was fucking perfect. I really hope we see more of super talkative Big Mac in the future. It probably won't ever happen, though. You know, it's funny, we keep seeing Big Mac talk a lot, and then we say, wow, I really hope we see more of that in the future. And then we're surprised when we do. Is everyone still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Anyone want to add anything about Starlight, Glimmer, and Twilight?
Well, not about Twilight. I wanted to add about her and Trixie.
Okay, add about Trixie.
Proper silverware placement is key to success.
God damn it.
And proper silverware placement!
It's I don't like Twilight in this episode.
Knives are really dangerous.
Wait, am I allowed to speak about Twilight? Not Twilight, Trixie. Other two.
Yes, I said speak.
Yeah. All right. I just want to say I really like this combination, though. I think this is a good idea, pairing those two up.
Oh, again, like I said about Cat, definitely. This was like the perfect pairing.
It's just two redeemed, air quotes,
No.
villains just getting to know each other.
Also,
Was a good idea.
they're doing a really good job of redeeming people I hate. First it was Diamond Tiara, and now Trixie.
Wait, you used to hate Trixie?
I still kind of do.
Why are we friends?
Were we even friends?
I guess not. Dusk, Cat doesn't want to be my friend anymore.
Cat needs a friendship lesson.
Cat does need a friendship lesson. But he won't get it
mean-
here, because it's time to move on to the next topic. Woo! Because we're kind of on a fast roll here. Trixie's plans. Fuck, what did I want to do with this? Oh, shit, that's right. I meant to delete one of these two topics, because the next two topics are the exact goddamn thing. I can top it good. Okay, Trixie's show and Trixie's plans. I'm going to get more in depth on this later, but did anybody else get kind of a vibe from Trixie in this episode? Kind of a something's not right vibe?
Explain yourself.
Basically, the constant changing of the title, her feeling really depressed anytime someone puts her down or talks behind her back. Just kind of saying that this seemed like she was planning this on... Like, she was kind of planning on this being her final show, so to speak. Hello?
Very clear, I'm sorry, but there are very clear, references to that being a suicidal thing. Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she was planning on this definitely being her final show, even before she met with Starlight.
And it'll explain why she never changed the working title.
Right.
Except at the very end.
At the very end where she changed it to, way to go, dum-dum, you really messed up this time.
Well, that's her sinking further into depression.
Which we'll get into later. Yeah, I just wanted to say, and I'll get more in depth into it later, this really hit home for me. And for the reasons, again, that I'll get into later, But I gotta admit, Hasbro has some balls. Like, I don't know if they knew releasing the episode that it was obvious that this was about helping someone battle depression, or about suicide, or at the very least suicidal thoughts. But damn, this was a dark episode for even a pony episode. Know what I mean? Like, this got dark.
Yeah. I was rather surprised.
I love Trixie, and it really almost killed me watching her do that. But some of the things that I want to talk about, because I won't really have the chance to talk about them later when I do my spiel. Some of the signs that you'll notice in her. Go back and watch the episode. Now, they are very subtle with this. Like, I'll give them kudos. They handled depression subtly. They didn't outright say, oh, by the way, I suffer from depression, or anything like that, right? But basically, when she sees the ponies, or when she sees the ponies talking behind her back, when her and Starlight are setting up, I think it was, she turns to Starlight in a very low voice, just kind of says, you ever feel like no one wants you, or something like that, or like someone... Like, no one will ever forgive you.
She was talking about the fact that even though they say they give her second chances, don't really seem to give her one.
Yeah. That's actually a sign of depression, where it's a sign called self-loathing. Or self-doubt. Basically, she's kind of hinting that even she's not really giving herself a second chance. There was the whole thing where when... Starlight pointed out that Trixie doesn't know how to teleport. She immediately snapped back at her, thanks for pointing that out. Which is, again, a sign of, self-loathing, self-doubt.
Isn't that, almost going through, the 5 stages of depression or grief? I mean...
Kinda, yeah, but, they didn't do all the... Believe me, they did not do all the signs of depression.
I mean, you don't need to do all the signs to get to acceptance.
The biggest sign they did, and this is about the time where I realized and went back and watched the episode what they were doing, was the breakdown that she had in front of Twilight. A major sign of depression is lying to oneself and taking it out on someone else. Basically what she did was, she was lying. There was no doubt. She was lying because she loved Starlight. Well, at least loved her in a platonic sense. She really thought they were great friends. And because she turned around and in her own stupidity, her own act of trying to get revenge on Twilight, she pushed Starlight away and then immediately reverted to lying to herself and taking it out on Twilight at the same time. That is actually a major sign of depression. Where you're lying to yourself. You're telling yourself things like, no, this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I needed, kind of stuff, right? And, yeah. So that's that. I mean, it was obvious that It's obvious that Trixie wasn't all there from the beginning of the episode, kind of deal. She wasn't major sufferer of depression, but she was definitely in the starting stages. And,
I can agree with that.
I kind of hope that they do an episode down the road that deals with depression a little more, because it is a serious topic. And if they do it with Trixie, have it a little bit more obvious, but don't have her doing the suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can see it. I think how they handle it right now was rather subtle.
Oh, it was very subtle. There are still people to this day that doubt that Trixie was even having suicidal thoughts.
No, the second I saw that fight with her and Twilight, and I'm like, okay, so she's upset, all right, and then she's still going through with the canon thing, oh, okay, she knows she's not gonna survive it, right?
Yeah.
and she kept going through and like, oh my gosh, she's gonna commit suicide. That was her plan all along. It was a
Well, it
ruse.
wasn't her plan. It wasn't a plan all along. I mean, she outright said that I could never do that trick alone. Like, it wasn't like she was planning to do the trick unless she had someone that could help her. And that's another thing, is she was kind of manipulating Starlight a little bit, but at the same time not. Because Starlight volunteered to help her. It wasn't like she said, oh, by the way, maybe you could help me. You know, and some people have said she was very manipulative of Starlight in this episode. She kind of wasn't. Like, if you stop and think about it, she was, but she wasn't. Because what she was doing was, she was making a friend, which she'd never done before. So, it's kind of the Starlight syndrome. She doesn't really know what to do with a friend. At the same time, they're coming up with all these ideas together, and that's when Trixie's realizing, oh, you're Twilight student. I could use that to get revenge. Like, she really wasn't thinking clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was given.
Like, she wasn't thinking clearly. That's another sign, by the way. Not thinking clearly. And she basically was being... She wasn't being manipulative per se. She was being manipulative without realizing she was. Kind of deal. Like, she didn't realize what she was doing. And then when Twilight said, well, I hope you're happy you won, that's when Trixie was like, yes! In fact, I did! I win! I finally went up to you because your student chose me over you!
Yeah, that was a fuck up. That was a bad mess up.
Oh yeah, no, and she realized it almost immediately and tried to clarify what she meant and failed.
Badly.
Badly, and that's what led to the suicidal thoughts and all that. So anyway, that's that.
In the end, though, Trixie survived, which also adds to the fact that she looked surprised that she actually survived.
The Peyton Powerful Trixie!
I also like the fact they introduced the pony version of Houdini.
Hoofdini.
Hoofdini.
I gotta say, I think the Peyton Powerful Trixie was my favorite part of the whole episode. Not just because, hey, Trixie survived suicide, but because of the way she says, Trixie! And then faints. Oh, by the way, Kat?
Yeah?
It's pretty much been confirmed that her outfit and her fur were singed due to digestion. She was in there long enough for the stomach acids to touch cloth, and cloth and fur do not last long in digestive acids.
They also don't last
That's
long against any kind of acidic substance whatsoever, like saliva or teeth.
Exactly. So, no, she was... They vored, by the way. There was vor in this episode. For those who don't know
Where's
what vor
Cuddles
is...
when you need him?
For those who don't know what vor is, it's the act of swallowing. One whole. Basically how snakes eat.
So would that mean technically she didn't do the trick correctly?
Well, no shit, she didn't do the trick correctly.
Like, well, no, she, based on Houdini's flashback, she did, but he basically only chewed once and swallowed. He didn't really chew thoroughly. So, technicalities, she didn't do the trick right.
No, she pretty much shot herself straight into his stomach. And then Starlight saved her just in time before something, really bad happened to her.
I was hoping
was
there would be a
definitely-
skeleton.
She was definitely woozy from the lack of oxygen, which also suggests that she was in the stomach for at least a little while.
Yeesh.
So, yay for that. Does anyone have anything to add about Trixie's plan or Trixie's thoughts in general? Dusk, Cat?
I'm just sort of because I've been there, done that. I mean, not the best of situations.
Okay, so, now comes the part of the episode. Well, actually, first, real briefly, props to Cranky Doodle. Just props to my boy Cranky for asking the right question that we've all been wanting to know since the very beginning.
Wait. I want to tell it. I want to ask it.
Go ahead.
How does Celestia's hair? How does her hair do that? How does she get it to work like that?
Yes, that part was probably one of the funniest parts of the whole episode.
Alright, I was just glad someone finally asked it. I wonder if it was just a thing they just accepted or
I like how I like how she didn't answer either. Like, it was one of those, like she gets that all the time kind of sighs.
yeah.
I also love Celestia as just absolute annoyance with Twilight in this episode.
I also felt that was
Her expressions are quite fantastic.
I don't know, it just felt kind of misplaced as well.
Like, I almost feel like Twilight set this party up and Celestia really didn't want to be there.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
Like, it's like Twilight's... Hold on. It's like Twilight's trying to rub it in, like, hey, I'm a teacher now. Let me show you what my student did. She went out and made a friend because I made her.
She was trying to be like a teacher's pet and be like, hey, look, I did this too. Are you proud of me? Be proud of me. She's like trying to impress her alcoholic father, and Celestia's like, shut up and just grab me another beer.
She was more fascinated by the fork than she was Twilight.
Be a good girl and grab Daddy another beer.
She picked up the fork and looked at it with a very interested look on her face.
Jesus Christ.
Like the fork was more interesting than Twilight.
I hope they just subtly make it so like Celestia's actually just really annoyed with Twilight. She just doesn't want to admit it.
Oh, it's not so much she's annoyed with her, it's just that at this point it's like, Jesus Christ, Twilight, cool, I don't care what your student did. Okay, now comes the part of the... Unless anyone has anything to add about Celestia and Cranky. By the way, fun fact, if you listen closely to the song that's playing out of Vinyl Scratch's... I'm sorry, DJ Pawn 3's headphones, it is in fact the melody that plays during her short, during the Equestria Girls shorts.
The name that we dub in the 100th episode? It was a 100th episode?
Yes.
It was. Oh. Equestria Shorts. Shorts. Can't talk. Go on! Move! Why am I still talking?
Anyway, if anyone has anything to say about Celestia and Cranky, which was a last-minute topic, I do apologize.
It was a great last-minute topic, though.
Alright, now comes a part of the episode where I yell at a random pony and they give their opinion of the episode. Who's ready?
Not me.
Never me.
Fantastic. Ember, your opinion.
Good talk.
Riveting opinion. I 100%
That was
agree.
like the most
Dick.
exquisite thing I've ever heard.
Listen, I cried. A single tear
I
fell.
had to do it.
Listen, it was more impressive
Dusk,
than the
can you do me a
freaking...
favor?
It was more impressive than this.
What?
While Catnick and Lightning are giving their opinions, can you run downstairs, grab Ashy?
I don't even know if they're still here.
Why would they have left?
You're asking the wrong person.
Alright, run downstairs, see if she's there. If she's not, fantastic. If she is, grab her.
Regardless, Trixie, do your job before I steal it.
Catnick, go!
I really enjoy the app. I like how Starlight asks. I like that they made not asks. Bleh. I like how I like her interaction with the adorably out of character Twilight and actually likable Trixie. I enjoy the little jokes they make, calling back to like past characters or different characters. And generally, I think this is a pretty good app. Which is strange because it has Trixie in it.
Fantastic. What were your thoughts about Trixie in general?
Trixie!
What was your favorite part about
Tried to
Trixie?
kill herself!
What was your favorite part about Trixie?
Starlight.
Starlight is not an answer to what you thought the best part of Trixie was.
It is. The best part of Trixie is Starlight. It's your better half.
On a scale of 1 to Trixie, how would you rate the Trixie?
Starlight.
God damn it, Cat.
Which is one category above Trixie.
All right, Lightning, your opinion, unaltered. No one's going to interrupt you. Go.
I don't believe that if I have a fucking second. But anyways,
It's been half a second.
All right, Dusk.
damn. I set
Okay.
myself. I set myself up for these all the time. I actually watched this episode 100% with like full attention. Unlike the last two episodes, I just half-ass watched. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's happened, that's cool. And one episode, I read the wiki because I could care less. I actually legitimately watched this episode. And like, this is actually a really good lesson, and I for once had fun with this episode. Like top 10 right here. Like just for the lesson alone and the good character development. So yeah, it was like number 2, number 3 on my list right now.
Cool.
Though, also, I don't know how much you could take my opinion, because number 1 is the episode where Twilight gets her wings, because it just pisses people off, and I enjoy it.
On a scale of 1 to Trixie, how would you rate the Trixie?
Something related to Hitler. I can't think right now.
You think Trixie is Hitler?
I think right now, this lesson was greater than the...
You were moved.
What he doesn't know is I'm streaming, so... So, welcome to the Lightning After Dark show. Trixie is kind of Hitler.
Moved.
Do you know what you did wrong?
You didn't.
No,
insult
do you know what
Trixie
you
hard
did
enough,
wrong?
insult harder.
You forget I'm streaming. I just had like a half a minute just talking about how Trixie was Hitler and how I can relate her to the great how I can relate her to the great Nazi speech. You fucked up.
Oh, wait.
Hooray!
Hooray. Yay. Shout out to Omni, whoever that is. I moved Lightning to your cave. I was streaming for a minute.
Yeah, no, I was streaming, asshole.
God damn it.
You left
And
me
nothing of
alone.
value was lost.
Shit, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about how this episode kind of relates to Hitler's great speech. Good times. Those were good times indeed.
Disregard everything that Lightning just said prior to getting moved.
No, but seriously, we do not promote Nazis. It's all in good fun. They're actually
Indeed.
really bad. Just a reminder.
Okay, Dusk, your opinion.
He did nothing wrong.
I liked the episode overall, but I will admit I cried during like a little bit of the episode. So, yeah.
Basically, the general consensus I'm hearing here is you guys liked a Trixie episode.
Yep.
Am I wrong? Guys?
Partially.
You liked a Trixie episode, didn't you, Catnick?
You liked the Rarity episode.
I liked the Trixie episode. I
Look,
did not like that
it
Rarity
was a
episode. That Rarity
mostly
episode was
Pinky
stupid.
episode. It was a mostly Pinky episode.
So
To be
all we
fair, yes.
need is a
To be
Applejack
fair, yes,
episode.
the Rarity episode that I liked was mostly a Pinky episode.
So we still need a Rarity episode that reminds us that she's the element of generosity because she's
But
such
hey,
a fucking.
I mean,
I can't talk because we all like the Spike episode.
Listen, was it a Spike episode or was it an Ember episode? Because I feel like it was more an Ember episode.
I think we can all agree that it was an episode. I'm going to postpone my opinion of this episode to the very end because there's actually something I wanted to say about it. Ember is no longer with us. I guess she left. I don't know why. I'm going to have a chat with her about that later. Again, it is Ashfire. She can do whatever she wants. Fine, yay. But I guess I'm going to move this to anime and games with loser face because Lightning
I'm
never
sorry,
bothered
who
to
is the
change
one
it.
with the power of the stream again?
Lightning never bothered to change it.
Wait, is it still Loserface?
Yep.
Fucking Ash! Did you change the rule though? I hope the rule's still there. Yeah, 7.5 is still there. Alright. So I guess it's just me. Well, I can't change it now. I don't have a clue.
Talk about anime and games. Go.
Fine. What
I
anime
mean-
have I been watching? Shit. I haven't been watching much anime because I already bitched about it. So I,
mean,
guess
I finished Ruby. That's considered anime, right?
Okay. You want to talk about Ruby?
I
We
thought
talked
we were
about
gonna.
Ruby
I was
at the
gonna mention
beginning of the
Ratchet and
season.
Clank since you wanted me to talk about that.
That's movies, which will be next. But anyways, moving
That's
on.
also games. I played the game.
Touche. Touche. I guess we just do games tonight because I pretty much bitched about every anime I was watching. So, Catnick, what games have you been playing?
I played the new Ratchet and Clank game, and
How
I'm going to
is it?
completely ignore the fact that there's a movie tied to it.
From what I hear, is that the movie legitimately took scenes from the game, or the game legitimately had all
the
the
game's
movie scenes.
cutscenes, a good majority of them are pretty much the entire movie.
Interesting.
Like, besides some filler shit that they added in the movie to make it, you know, a thematical length. It's mostly
Theatrical, not thematrical.
whatever you person. And otherwise, the game is quite reminiscent of the original Ratchet and Clank, except in especially design of the levels. Like they almost basically one of the first levels you play is an exact like updated rip of the first level. Like the design is the exact same thing. These are still where the enemies are and everything. The one thing I do like about it more than I like the original is the controls. In the first game, the way you moved was very kind of like you were always running in molasses. It took a while to get going. It took a while to stop. You couldn't strafe, and it discouraged use of weapons because the ammo could be expensive. And when you died and you were sent back, you didn't actually get the ammo back. But ammo is cheap and the weapons are fun to use. Because of how well it controls, it turns in some sections of the game it turns into a freaking shoot 'em up, where basically there's so many projectiles and bullets flying everywhere that you're just constantly jumping and dodging, hoping that you're missing all of them.
If you could
All
dodge a
hail the
wrench, you could dodge a
sheep gun.
ball.
All hail the sheep gun.
And it's about, I want to say about 10 to 12 hours in length, and it's all good fun.
Which is about the original, the length of
And
the
the
original
only
game.
thing that I think the original has up on it is I like the story and humor better. Because the original was rated T, which means it had a better,
No,
more
it wasn't.
adult variety of humor.
No, it wasn't. I'll stop you right
Yeah.
there. I've got a copy of it right in front of me. It's rated E for everyone.
It's rated T for teen.
The original is rated E for everyone. I've got a copy right in front of me.
And I have one right here too. It is E,
Sure?
I'm sure. But here's the thing back then.
Yup.
E ratings back then were basically T. To be honest. Especially with all the shit that Ratchet and Clank got away. The quest
You're
for
thinking-
booty.
You're thinking Jack and
I'm-
Daxter, Cat.
I'm looking at the box art right there, and it says T right at the bottom.
For the new game or the old game?
Old game. I'm talking about the old game here.
Because the new game is T.
The
for
old
teen.
game is E. I know that. The old game is rated T. Don't like that.
I'm confused.
So am I. Anyways,
So the
continue
old
on.
game back in 2002 is rated T, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm comparing it to the new one because it's basically a reboot. It's basically a remake. Honestly, I wish they didn't make that damn movie because I feel like if they didn't, the actual game would be a even hell of a lot better than it already is. It has stellar gameplay. The only thing it lacks is the story, which basically rips from the movie.
I mean, you could just illegally watch the movie and then play the game.
No, that's the thing. The movie is horrible because you could tell that it was not made as the main attention.
The game is supposed to be the main focus.
Yes, because everything looks a lot. It's a lot more coherent in the game because in the game you actually see the points between all the cutscenes, whereas in the movie you don't really. There's a lot of awkward jump cuts.
I just really hope that the Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter movies turn out really good.
They probably won't.
There hasn't been really a good video game movie, has there?
Silent Hill.
There was a Silent Hill movie.
Yes, and
Listen.
there was two, and the first one was amazing.
Ha ha ha. Jump off a cliff right now.
I'm good, thanks.
those.
one could argue that Super Mario Brothers actually was a good movie if you ignore the fact that it's based off a video game.
I mean, I enjoyed the movie.
I mean, it's like the Resident Evil argument. If you disregard it as part of the video game franchise, except the second one, which is basically Resident Evil 2 and 3, it's fine as its own standalone thing.
Yeah, but I've actually very thoroughly enjoyed the Silent Hill movie.
The first one was decent. The second one involved incest.
Meh. I didn't much care for the second one. I know there was more. Oh, the Tomb Raider movies were good.
I actually haven't watched the Tomb Raider movies.
They're actually really well done.
Actually, I will admit, the Lego movie is really good, but I think that's supposed to be a movie than a game.
But that was a movie first, then a game. Doesn't count.
Damn.
The game actually
that
sucks.
and it was based off that and it was more based off the toys than the games.
God,
I'm trying to think.
Doom was decent.
The Pokemon movies.
That's fucking Pokemon, and that's shit.
That's something that's not considered. That's a
It totally counts. It totally counts.
No, it doesn't. Pokemon doesn't count at all.
I will say I'm looking so much forward to the Warcraft movie, but it really pisses me off.
Not.
No, here's the thing. I'm looking forward to it, but it really pisses me off every time I read an article that says based off of the MMO World of Warcraft. Fuck you! No, it isn't. It's based off of the very first Warcraft game, which came out in 1993, I think?
Here's my hope for it. I hope it does well, just so we can get an Overwatch movie. Because holy shit do they need to explain the fucking backstory to Overwatch.
Watch all the videos.
Yeah, but I still want more. I actually want a movie in the universe, because the universe is really cool.
But the whole thing with the Warcraft thing that pisses me off is everyone's like, oh my god, the new World of Warcraft movie, oh my god, it's World of Warcraft. It's like, guys, Warcraft was a fucking franchise before that goddamn MMO came out.
They only care about World of Warcraft and Warcraft 3.
It's like, no, and people don't even acknowledge Warcraft 3. Like, I've seen reviews of people saying things like, with characters made up entirely for the movie. No, they weren't. They were characters from the first Warcraft movie, you chuckle fucks. Or first Warcraft game, you chuckle fucks. They weren't made up for anything.
And this is why you don't mostly trust movie reviewers that don't know their fucking video games.
Exactly. Like, it says, like, Lothar, who is obviously based off somebody's OC in World of Warcraft. Like, no, he's not! Lothar was the original king of Warcraft, you jackasses!
You know what would be really interesting as a movie? Fucking Dark Souls. Dark Souls has an interesting backstory.
How can you make a movie about a game where you just die a lot?
Listen, if you actually go through and,
Simulator?
like, if you look up the story and the lore of Dark Souls, it's really fucking interesting how
Oh,
it's just...
I know. I've played through the first one, kind of, and I know the lore a little bit.
Alright, explain the
It's
story.
interesting.
I bit my tongue.
There was no fire, and then there was fire. And then
Praise
there
be
was
the
water.
sun.
No, what happened is, you're right, there was no fire before and there was no life. But as soon a great fire started and it split off, and Fermid Pygmy used this fire to give people souls, created humans. There were the four great souls, which were Lord Gwyn, the witches of Izalith, NeTa, and Seth. God, I'm gonna get into this fucking lore thing. I'll do this later when I'm not on fucking stream. Anyways, look up the lore for Dark Souls, it's really interesting. Anything else you want to add to about Ratchet and Clank?
You know what should be made into a
You
movie?
should go get it. It's like $40, which
You know
is
what
way
should be-
cheaper than most AAA games.
You know what should be made into a movie?
If it's Shantae, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Okay, so my next vote for what should be made into a movie,
Smash Brothers.
Legend of Zelda.
Is it? I guess.
No, seriously, Legend of Zelda would make an amazing movie, and it doesn't have to be based off any specific games. They could literally make up their own story in that world. And it would be just as awesome. That's actually... That, to me, that, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls are pretty much the three things that they could make into movies, and they don't have to follow one specific game. They could just make up their own story in that universe.
Exactly. As long as they keep canon with, like, where the nukes dropped, everything will be perfectly fine. Because different
Exactly.
areas were affected differently.
And it's like the same with Elder Scrolls. As long as they keep, with the lore, and they keep all the races come from where they came from.
Except, except for the lizard people, because we don't know fucking jack shit about them.
We know exactly where they came from.
Isn't it the Black Marsh?
The Black Marsh, yes.
But that's like all we know, really, right?
Not really. Play Morrowind, dude.
Really? I guess I gotta play Morrowind now.
Morrowind explains it thoroughly. So does Skyrim a little bit.
I thought they had... Whatever. Anyways, anything else you want to talk about, Catnick, before I move on to my game?
Not really. Go ahead.
I've been playing Overwatch! Overwatch is fun! Play Overwatch. That is all.
I don't think that could count.
Why?
Seeing as how it's a demo right now and it's not the full game.
It's technically an open beta. You're really not gonna count it? Fucking cuck. Alright, then I've also been playing Battleborn. Battleborn is also really fun. If you like MOBAs and Borderlands, play Battleborn. That's really it. I mean, it has a bunch of interesting characters that are fun. It's the issue with it though is if you had like stuck between getting Battleborn and Overwatch, I could probably see you guys going for Overwatch more. Cause as fun as Battleborn is and interesting as the characters, the games take fucking forever to play. Holy shit. Like it's like a half an hour per match. And it's just tedious sometimes. But it can be really fun and the characters are really cool. And you also have the randomized gear aspect, which is nice, where you get like random gear that you can work with. But it's just it takes so long to get the ball going. But once the ball gets going, it keeps momentum. So that's the only issue I have with it so far. But otherwise, it's a good game. It's fun. It's like Borderlands. I like Borderlands a lot.
I like eggs.
I like trains. And then
On
like
a
that we got
sad note-
copyright
You
strike.
just burnt toast.
On a sad note, the CBS series Supergirl has been officially canceled.
Yay!
So
My parents watched that. Was it good?
It was amazing, but it got canceled because it wasn't getting good ratings.
Great. You want to know how it feels like when Firefly got canceled?
I
knew-
really hope
I
Gallivant
lived
gets
that
renewed.
fucking shit. Thank you very much.
Well, now you know it again. How does it feel?
Anything else you want to talk about, Lightning?
Apparently, there's a fan fiction saying you're supposed to slay dragons, not lay with them.
All right then.
That's on the front page of FM Fiction. Don't question
Alrighty
why I'm
then.
on Friendship is Magic Fiction.
You frighten me, sir.
Ma'am.
You frighten me, ma'am.
That's it. I guess now we move on to, because basically we talked about movies already. Just move on to a brief word from Nerdy, followed by Trixie.
Okay. It's time that I gave my opinion of the episode and how I felt about it. And I talked earlier about how the episode hit me really emotionally and how I had to walk away after a while. I left the chat. I didn't talk to anybody. No, you shouldn't be playing the video thingy, not yet. I talked, about how I had to leave the chat for a while. And I didn't come back. Like, I went out, I cut some grass and thought about some things. And yeah, basically, this episode hit me really hard. And I don't remember if I talked about this on TAD. I know I haven't talked about it on here. But basically, Pony saved my life. I don't know, again, if I ever talked to you guys about that or not. I know I've talked to Dusk about it, right? Dusk?
Say again, sorry.
I've talked to you in the past about how Pony saved my life, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, basically it goes a little bit further than what I've said in the past. A few years ago, about maybe 5 or 6, give or take, I was in a really, really, really bad spot. Financially, emotionally, romantically, just all of it. I was not in a good spot, and I was having a very serious depression attack. And I was ready to kill myself. Just completely I was even planning how to do it. Like, if I remember correctly, I had gone out and bought some Tylenol, and I was going to down the entire bottle. And like the very night that I was ready to do it, a friend of mine, I don't know how they knew, if it was divine intervention, God, whatever you want to believe in, they gave me, like, they started sending me memes, just like nonstop spamming my Facebook Messenger with memes from My Little Pony. And I admit they made me laugh, right? They started sending me ones of Pinky. They sent me clips that made me laugh. They sent me some music videos. Basically, they were trying to get me to be a brony, full out, because they had said they were going to do it one day. Mark me, blah blah blah. I will make you watch this show. And one of the things they did. It's time that I revealed to you all once and for all why I like Trixie. I know that's been something everyone's been asking me. Why is Trixie your favorite character? Why do you like Trixie? She's such a bitch. Well, I would always, shrug it off as saying, I don't know, I just like her. Why do you like Rarity? Or, whatever. My friend told me outright, you should check out the character of Trixie. You kind of remind me of her a little bit, in that she's so boastful sometimes, and she's so energetic, and it's clear that she wants to be loved, but there's always someone better. I remember you saying that once in high school, that, there's always someone better than you. So I did. I watched a couple of clips with Trixie, and not knowing, that she was just a side character, I started to like her. And when I was watching the episodes, finally, first episode I ever watched, by the way, was Dog and Pony Show, which, yes, it was a Rarity episode, and yes, I did enjoy it. I started watching the episodes in order from start to finish because I promised him I would. And I got to the Trixie episode, and sure enough, it was the episode that sold me on the series. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I could actually watch and enjoy this. And I completely forgot about my suicidal thoughts. I completely stopped, wanting to die. I honestly felt like, you know what, maybe life will be okay. Maybe things won't be so bad. And in a weird, and as I said to Dusk, in a very weird, kind of spiritual way, I know it was my friend that did it, but if you think about it, Trixie kind of saved my life. Pinky and Trixie both, even though I don't much care for Pinky, but mostly Trixie kind of saved my life in a way, because they made it to where I didn't want to commit suicide anymore. I didn't want to be that person anymore. Like, I had a goal. I needed to finish this series now. Flash forward a couple years, later. I started watching mid-second season, so about 5 years later, I guess. I don't know. I'm still here, obviously, or I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I'm still alive. I'm doing a lot better. I just got a new job that's going to be a lot better for me than my old one was. Like, everything's going great, right? And then this episode airs. Like, the very week that I finished my my main week of training at my new job, this episode airs. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up for a minute. This episode airs where Trixie is, being suicidal, and she's depressed, and she just had a friend, like she was losing friends, and it was like the show was reminding me what it had done for me, what it had done, how it had saved me, and it was as if it was telling me it'll be okay, everything's going to be fine. Here I am, I'm watching my character, Trixie, I'm watching her about to commit suicide, and I don't know what, I'm losing my mind because of it. And she's saved. At the very last minute, she's saved by a friend. And it honestly feels as if the episode was actually speaking to me. As if it was actually saying, you're going to be okay, you made it. And the fact that they used Trixie to convey this, I don't know why, but it really hit me hard. And that's why this episode is, without a doubt, my most favorite episode of all time. And will probably remain that way forever. Because I honestly feel as if somehow this episode was written for me. I know that sounds stupid. Obviously it wasn't. They don't know me. They don't know that I even exist. But God, I hope that one day they do. Because I need to tell them. I need to tell them thank you for this episode. I need to tell Kathleen Barr thank you for Trixie. And I need to tell all of them thank you. Because this is my favorite episode now, because it feels like it was literally a message to me that I'm doing the right thing and that it's time for me to move on and I'll be okay. And I fucking love this episode. And I love all of you. I love you guys, everyone, so much. Even the ones that couldn't make it tonight, I love you guys. I love everyone watching this. I love everyone that, watching this as a video on YouTube or whatever. I'm proud that I got to be part of this community and got to be a part of the show, got to be a part of everything. I'm just so happy that I didn't take that turn all those years ago, and I look back and I think about how close I was. The friend that sent me those videos is no longer around. He died in a car accident 3 years ago, and I look back and I think that I'm still here and he's not. And I feel as though that this episode was kind of telling me that it's okay that I'm still here and he's not, in a weird way. And it both hurts and makes me happy at the same time. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you to him. Thank you to Pony, and especially thank you to Trixie. And now you guys know why Trixie is my favorite character and why I love her so much. And why I feel such a deep connection with her that I haven't really felt with any of the others except maybe Scootaloo. Primarily because of the, not being able to fly thing and always feeling like, you'll be second best, blah, blah, blah. Again, thank you to everyone, and thank you. I don't know who wrote this episode. This would be the part where Ditzy looks it up for me.
I'll look it up for you.
But whoever you are that wrote this, thank you. I'm going to have Ember, in fact, Dusk, please remember to tell Ember this. At the very end of this tribute that Lightning is going to play here in a couple minutes.
It was written by, I believe it's a newcomer, Nick Colafalone.
Ember can... Thank you, Nick. For this. And thank you to Kathleen Barr, and especially Megan McCarthy, and of course Lauren Faust, for this amazing episode. I know you guys will never... Well, Lauren Faust didn't participate in this episode, but amazing series. And I know that they will never see this or they will never hear this message. But thank you all the same. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go wipe my eyes for a little bit. While Lightning plays a tribute to Trixie. The great and powerful and my most favorite character of the series. Take it away, Lightning.
the hype.
Great and powerful Trixie, mighty, magical, great and powerful Trixie.
I'm so powerful you cannot hope to beat. And for those who try, I surely will defeat. Pay attention cause I'm here to show I'm the best, beat the rest, and you're sure to be impressed. See how easily it comes to me. You want me in your corner when you're facing down an enemy. Cause there's no pony who can stand up to the great and powerful Trixie. Mighty, magical, super stupendous Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Mighty, magical, awesome, amazing Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Oh, oh, oh,
Trixie.
oh, 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 oh. Wait and you'll see all that I can do. All kinds of magic that you never knew. Think you got a chance when you stand up next to me? By the time I'm done, I'm gonna make you flee. Heads up, I'm the mayor that's gonna make a grand show. Stand in awe of all the things that I know. And my talent can only grow. I'm the best, beat the rest, and you're sure to be impressed. I can charm the wild out of any beast. I can control the weather in the north, south, west, and east. Is there any doubt?
Talent and ability.
The great and powerful Trixie. Mighty, magical, super stupendous Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Mighty, magical, awesome, amazing Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Oh, 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 oh.
Trixie.
Oh, 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 oh. I love the limelight. It's such a highlight. And all you ponies out there wishing you could be like.
Like it.
You know you love it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
I'm just a superstar. Hey, you know my show is on fire, and you can't help but be pulled in by its wonder.
All struck by your astounding marvels.
The great and powerful Trixie. Mighty, magical, super stupendous Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Mighty, magical, awesome, amazing Trixie, Trixie, a Lulamoon. Oh, oh, oh.
Trixie.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Trixie.
Oh, 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 oh.
Mighty. Powerful.
Yeah, you know it.
Trixie. Magical.
I'm the best.
Mighty.
Don't have to look too far to find a great show.
Trixie.
When you see my act, your mind's gonna blow. Mighty, magical, the great and powerful Trixie. Mighty, magical, the great and powerful Trixie. Now all my travels have led me here to you. You're gonna know my name by the time I'm through. No other pony can compare to my act. I'm gonna stun you all, and that is a fact. Ha!
All right, well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week with our next episode, which is all about. Oops, sorry, I'm not allowed to say because spoilers. Lol. And again,
It's about ponies
It
and
is about-
pony-based shenanigans.
damn it, Cat, you spoiled everything.
It's okay if you didn't expect that already. I don't know if you can be counted as a living, thinking person.
Lol. We will see you all next week. Thank you for joining us, as I've already said, and thank you guys again for everything. That's my mama.
Now get out of the cave.
Now
I didn't get to
get
say
out
next
of the
week.
cave.
Last week. Goodbye.